The moment you enter a room, people are already trying to read you. They scan your expression, gauge your tone, interpret your pauses. Most do it on instinct, triggered by fear, insecurity, or desire. Machiavelli did it with purpose, with surgical precision. To him, power wasn't just about what you say or do. It was about how fast you could see through others. To manipulate, you must understand. To protect, you must predict. To dominate, you must read someone before they even know they've been read. He understood that surface means nothing. A smile could be a performance, a handshake, a power move, a compliment, a trap. So he created tactics, not guesses. 14 psychological tactics. To read anyone's character, motive, and hidden weakness instantly. Forget how they treat you. That's too easy to fake. Watch how they treat those they think don't matter. The waiter, the intern, the invisible. Machiavelli taught that power corrupts weak minds silently. And when someone believes they're not being judged, they'll show you who they really are. How someone treats the powerless is how they'll treat you once your usefulness fades. Because there's no reward in faking kindness to those they think don't count. Silence makes people uncomfortable because it exposes them. People don't talk because they enjoy it. They talk because they fear being seen without distraction. Speak less than they do. Say nothing. Pause longer than expected. Let your silence become louder than their words. In moments, they'll overcompensate. Reveal their insecurities. Expose their motives. Overshare what they never planned to say. Silence is not emptiness. It's pressure. And pressure always reveals the cracks. One of Machiavelli's most brutal tactics: give them nothing. No approval, no affection, no benefit, just your unreadable presence. Because people always treat you based on what they can extract. When you offer nothing, do they go cold? They were only warm for gain. Do they chase harder? They crave approval. Do they stay calm? They have control and might be dangerous. The less you give, the more they reveal. Some people rehearse their personality. Their charm is polished. Their honesty is curated. These are performances, meant to control how they're seen, to read them, interrupt the script, ask what they don't expect, pause where they expect applause, respond to flattery with silence, change the subject when they're gaining momentum, and watch them stumble. In that stumble, you see what's real. Loyalty isn't proven when someone gets what they want. It's exposed when they're denied. Machiavelli engineered the test. Say no to something small. Decline a favor they assumed was theirs. Withdraw attention for a moment. Now watch. Do they stay composed? Or do they criticize, withdraw, or gossip? True loyalty isn't revealed in gain. It's revealed in resistance. A small no reveals the largest truth. People lie with words, but their attention always tells the truth. While they speak, watch where their eyes go. Do they glance at those with power? They crave status. Do they ignore low-status individuals? They only respect advantage. Do they check their phone while with you? You're not a priority. You're a placeholder. Do they copy your expressions? They're trying to gain favor. Machiavelli listened with his eyes, because attention is investment, and it always tells you what someone truly values and what they don't. Tell them something small, something that sounds like a personal weakness, something untrue, like "I overthink," or "I'm not always good with confrontation." Then watch. Do they weaponize it later? They're opportunistic. Do they ignore it? They're cautious or respectful. Do they share a real vulnerability in return? They want connection. They feel safe. You've created a fake weakness to test how they treat real ones without putting anything real at risk. Delay is exposure. Make them wait. Take longer than expected to reply. Be vague about timing. Watch their reaction. The entitled will panic, guilt trip, or act passive-aggressively. The patient will stay level. Machiavelli didn't just look for loyalty. He measured resilience. Because the impatient always break first when things don't go their way. Time reveals temperament. Everyone copies someone, consciously or not. Their tone, their phrases, their mannerisms. Machiavelli observed, if they mimic the powerful, they want control. If they mimic the popular, they crave validation. If they mimic the virtuous, they want superiority. Who someone emulates is who they secretly wish to become. Mention a recent win, an opportunity, a compliment. Then stop talking, watch the flicker. Do they smile too tight? Change the subject? Downplay your success? That's envy. And envy, Machiavelli warned, always comes before sabotage. Envy doesn't announce itself. It twitches. And once you see it, you never unsee it. What people love is easy to fake. Ask what they hate. What kind of people annoy you? What behaviors do you dislike? Their answer is rarely about others. It's a projection. Those who hate arrogance are often arrogant. Those who hate dishonesty often lie with precision. Those who hate weakness are terrified of being seen as weak. In judgment, you find confession. Eye contact is strength, but what breaks it? That's the truth. Mention money, status, shame, power, past failures. Watch the shift, the twitch, the escape. The eyes will flee before the mind catches up. Machiavelli saw it first. The eyes are the exits of suppressed emotion. What makes them break is what they fear most. Most people walk through life in disguise. They perform, they charm, they pretend. But if you reflect them back gently, their subconscious wakes up. Match their tone, mimic their posture, mirror their energy subtly. They see themselves in you, and instinct takes over. If they grow more intense, they're trying to dominate. If they retreat, they fear their own reflection. If they mock, they're hiding insecurity. The more they react to the mirror, the more they were performing in the first place. People expect judgment, so they show up armed. With excuses, with filters, with armor. Machiavelli started differently, with unexpected respect. Compliment their intelligence, acknowledge their insight, validate something they said, then strike. Ask the real question, the one they didn't prepare for. You seem confident. When did you learn to fake it? You're clearly strategic. What fear drives that? You're great at reading people. How do you know when someone's reading you? Respect lowers defenses. Insight breaks the mask. Now that you understand how to read people, a deeper layer begins. Machiavelli didn't read personalities. He read terrain. And every weakness was a tactical entry point. If they fear being alone, distance becomes your leverage. If they crave admiration, silence makes them chase you. If they rely on control, unpredictability disarms them. And if they hide a dagger behind a smile, you already know where to strike, or how to make them destroy themselves. This is where reading ends, and strategy begins. Reading someone gives you insight, but using what you read, that's where control begins. Machiavelli didn't stop at analysis. He used their psychology as leverage. He didn't label people. He profiled them silently and acted with precision. He didn't say, he's a narcissist. He simply withheld admiration. He didn't call someone insecure. He just applied silence and let their craving expose them. Here's how to turn observation into advantage. If they fear abandonment, withdraw attention. Let distance become control. If they need praise, offer disapproval in doses. They'll work for your respect. If they crave control, act unpredictably. Their foundation will crack. If they wear a smile to hide a threat, now you know exactly where to press, or how to make them collapse without ever touching them. This is where reading becomes warfare. Machiavelli never labeled out loud. He diagnosed silently. Because once you name someone, they resist. But when you treat them without ever saying what they are, they walk into the trap alone. Quick strategic archetypes. The approval addict craves validation. Praise controls them, but deny it, and they turn on you. The silent climber, loyal in appearance, but watches every shift in power. Respect them. Don't trust proximity. The fragile genius, brilliant, but unstable. Useful only if you manage their moods. The loud defender talks too much, justifies everything, almost always hiding guilt or fear. Don't argue, don't expose, just act, as if you already know. Nothing exposes character like rejection. Say no to a compliment, a favor, a small expectation, then step back. Do they stay calm? They're disciplined. Do they lash out or sulk? They're ruled by ego. Do they drop the friendly act entirely? They were performing. Machiavelli knew victory doesn't show strength. Denial does. Every word people speak is a move in a strategy. No one talks just to express. They talk to position. So ask yourself, who are they performing for? You? They want your validation. A group? They want dominance. Someone not present? They're revealing who truly owns their loyalty. Track their eyes. See whose approval they're chasing, because that's the person they obey, and it may not be you. People exaggerate what they're insecure about. If someone says, "I'm brutally honest," they often manipulate through selective truth. If they say, "I hate drama," they might be a walking storm. If they say, "I always put others first," they might be secretly resentful or controlling. Machiavelli believed true strength is quiet. When someone gets loud about one trait, investigate the shadow behind it. That's where the truth lives. Every behavior is now a signal, a clue, a pattern. People stop being mysterious. They become predictable. But once you can read them, you must choose your next move. Will you manipulate, test, elevate, destroy? Because the deeper risk of power isn't in seeing through others. It's in becoming cold toward them. Machiavelli didn't fear that risk. He embraced it. He saw people not as obstacles, but as opportunities to move the game forward. The real Machiavellian edge comes when you shift from perceiving to influencing, and the most powerful influence is invisible. Let them see what they want in you. Do they seek validation? Give a glimpse, then withdraw. Do they want control? Acknowledge their authority, then lead them where you want. Once you reflect their need, you lower their guard. Then, you redirect it, quietly, so your goal becomes their path, and they walk it, thinking it was their idea. People love to feel helpful. Machiavelli used this to extract truth. He'd confess something small. "I tend to second-guess myself early on," or "I sometimes get too deep into my work." Now they feel superior, trusted, helpful, and in that comfort, they reveal what they usually guard. Because the safe mind speaks freely, and the superior mind speaks honestly. People trust you more when they think you're opening up. So Machiavelli gave them a fragment, something like, "I had to learn the hard way not to trust too easily," or, "People underestimated me until I stopped being nice." They relate. They relax. Then they confess something real. This isn't vulnerability. It's a trade, one puzzle piece for the entire map. Let them tell you who they think they are. I value loyalty above all. I don't tolerate time wasters. I keep my emotions out of decisions. Perfect. Now you have their script. Need them to do something? Frame it using their own identity. You're someone who values loyalty. I know you'll handle this. You're all about efficiency. Here's the shortcut we need. You're not convincing them. You're echoing their own beliefs, while steering them exactly where you want. Machiavelli gave people reputations before they earned them. You're known for your integrity. People respect you for staying out of drama. You're the one who always keeps things balanced. Now, if they act otherwise, they risk contradiction, inconsistency, loss of face. So they stay in character, not because they want to, but because you made it public. You installed behavior without giving a single order. Sometimes, you don't need to convince. You just need to let them overhear the right thing. A story that hints you're hard to fool. A joke that suggests your standards are high. A casual comment about how you saw through someone's bluff. They hear it. Adjust themselves. Recalibrate. People respond not to who you are, but to who they think you are. Let them figure it out. Because what people discover on their own, they never question. Give them early victories. Let them believe it was their idea, that their leadership mattered, that their insight saved the day. While in the background, you shape the final result. People fight to protect what they think they built. They stay loyal to what they think they led. Let them write the first sentence. You control the conclusion. Here's the final danger Machiavelli faced. When you can see through everyone, you risk becoming detached, above them, beyond empathy. You begin to move people like pieces, not humans. But real power isn't domination, it's precision. It's knowing when to act and when to vanish. At the highest level, the game stops feeling like a game. It becomes instinct. You don't think, how do I read them? You just walk in and feel it. Who's insecure? Who's performing? Who's quietly powerful? And who's watching you? Just as closely as you're watching them.